Hi friends! Today in math, we are going to continue working with numbers and identifying their patterns. So before we get started, I want you to go ahead and put your super scholar hats on, tie them really tight, go ahead and launch on your listening ears and get ready because we're going to start our lesson by doing some skip counting. So first, I want you to take a look at our lovely board. And we're going to first start by skip counting by fives. Are you ready? I want you to count out loud with me. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Notice when we count by fives, you either see a 5 in the ones place or you see a 0 in the ones place. And then when you get to 100, you see how many zeros? You see 2. Also notice when we're counting by fives, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones to show the number 5. All right, ready to count by tens? Here we go. Count out loud. I want to hear you. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Great job. Notice the pattern when we count by tens. We see the number 0 in every ones place until we get to 100, and we get to see 2 zeros for the number 100. Good job. And notice in the tens place, guess what? It only goes up 1 10 each time. It starts at 1 in the tens place, then 2 in the tens place, 3 in the tens place. Notice that 0 stays in the ones place. 4 in the tens place, 5 in the tens place, 6 in the tens place, 7, 8, 9 in the tens place, and then it goes back to 1 in the hundreds place, and we get to add on another 0. Also notice when we show the number 10, we use a rod to show number 10. All right, ready to count by hundreds? Here we go. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. The pattern in the hundreds place, we see there's 2 zeros. There's 1 0 in the ones place, another 0 in the tens place, but then when we get to 1,000, we see how many zeros. Count them. 1, 2, 3 zeros when we get to the number 1,000. And this shows a hundreds block. Notice it's just way bigger than the ones block. So when you draw 100, just draw a bigger square than what we see in the ones block. Great. Great job counting. So today in math, like I said, we're going to continue working with patterns with our numbers. So I'm going to share my screen so that way I can go over the milestone task review with you all. All right, so the first question says, make all of the possible numbers you can using the numbers 5, 2, and 3. So the first thing I notice when I see the numbers 5, 2, and 3, that's a number right there. I can type in 5, 2, 3, and that shows the number what? 523. Great job. Next, I'm going to think of another number I see. And what I do is I'm just going to look at this number, the number 2. Let's see, trying the number 2 first. And then I want to use the number 3 next. Notice my 2 is in my tens place and my 3 is in my ones place. And that made the number what? 23. Great job. Also, I'm going to make another number. This time I'm going to use the number 3 first, and I'm going to make it 100. So that means I'm going to use 3 numbers all together. So the 3 is in the hundreds place. Next, I'm going to use the number 5 in the tens place. And then I'm going to use the number 2 in the ones place. And what number did I just make? 352. Great job. All right, I'm going to do one more number. I'm going to think. This time I'm going to use the number 5 first. 5. And this time I'm only going to use 2 numbers. So I'm going to use the 5 for the tens place. And then I'm going to put the 3 in the ones place. And then that made the number 53. Great job. All right, so my next question, of course, you guys can keep going when you do it all by yourself, trying to make as many numbers as you can, but because Miss Henderson doesn't have a lot of time, I'm only going to make 4 for right now. But I want you to definitely challenge your brain and use as many numbers as you can. All right, so the next question says, choose one number you made in the question above and write it in the box. So Ms. Henderson used 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers, and I think I'm gonna use the number 352. I like that number, 352. I'm gonna write that in the box, and then I'm ready for my next question. All right, it says write the number in expanded form. So this we've seen before. We know if we have the 3 in the hundreds place, that makes the number 300. 300, the 3 in the hundreds place, a 0 in the tens place, and then a 0 in the ones place, and that makes the number 300 because there are 300s in the number 352. And then I'm just going to add the plus sign as soon as I can. All right, so 300 plus, now we're gonna take a look at the number in the tens place. We see there's a 5 in the tens place, so think to yourself, how many tens are in the tens place? Good, there are 5. So that means there's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 tens in the tens place. So I'm gonna write the number 50. And then I'm going to add, because I know 300 plus 50 plus what's in the ones place should equal the number 350 what? 2. Good job. All right, and then how many ones do I have left? Look at the number in the green box. How many ones are left in the number 352? Think to yourself. Say it out loud. Great job. You should have said the number 2. There are 2 ones in the number 352. And then that's what my number looks like in expanded form. Great job. 352. Next, it says to make the number using base 10 blocks and then draw them here. So I'm going to show you a new function on my computer to show how you can draw base 10 blocks on your computer. So look at my cursor, follow my cursor with your eyeballs. I'm going up to the word insert. I'm going to click that, and then I'm going to go down to where it says drawing. So when I go to the word drawing, I'm going to go over, and then I'm going to press the word new. I'm going to click that. And then this is my board in order to draw. So my number was 352. So I'm going to first work with my hundreds place. So right here where it says to draw a shape, I'm going to click shape. I'm going to go to my shapes, and then I'm going to use this square right here because we know to show 100 is nothing but like a big square. So I'm going to click the square. And then I'm just going to draw a big 100 like that. I'm not going to make it too big because I'm going to leave space on my work. I'm going to have 100 right here. I know I need how many hundreds? 3. So I'm going to make another 100. There we go. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but it does need to look like it's 100. Now I have 3 hundreds. 100, 200, 300. Great job. Next, again, my number was 352. So now I need how many tens? Think to yourself, for the number 352, how many tens do I need? Good, you should have said 5 tens. So right here where it says draw a line, I'm going to click line. And I'm just going to say I want just one line. And then I get to draw 1. Oh, I guess I didn't click it. Let me go back. All right, there we go. 1 10, 2 tens, 3 tens, 4 tens, and 5 tens. Great job. So I'm showing the number 8. I don't want that there. I'm showing the number 100, 200, 300. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Next, for the number 352, all I have left is my ones place. And I know I have how many ones in the number 352? Good job. 2. I have 2 ones. So I'm going to go back to where it says shape. I'm going to go to shapes right here. I'm going to go back to that square. And then I'm just going to draw a tiny square like that to show my ones, and I'm just going to draw 2 ones. Perfect. I have 100, 200, 300s, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 tens, and 1, 2 ones. So after you have shown your number using base 10 blocks, you can press save and close, and guess what? It's going to do some magic. It's going to show your number, your base 10 blocks right there in your assignment. And you are ready to go on to the next question. So our next question says, use the number that you chose and answer these questions. So it would be helpful if you had a thousands chart next to you, or make sure you just constantly look at your number or a number line, so that way you know what number you chose. So I have the number 352, and I'm just going to write that right here so I can remember 300. I'm going to write the number 352 so I can remember it. Hopefully I can write it right here. 352, perfect. I have the number 352, and then it says, what number is one more than this number? So if I'm looking at one more, I know I'm going to focus on my ones place. I know one more than 2 is 3, so that would be the number 353. Perfect. Next, it says, what number is 1 less than this number? So again, I'm going to look at my ones place. I know 2. 1 less than 2 is 1. So that would be the number 351. Next, it says, what number is 10 more than this number? So since we're looking just at the tens place, I'm going to go to the number 5 right here. And I know 1 more than 10 is 6. And that will add 10 more to my number. So that would be 362. We leave the hundreds place alone. We leave the ones place alone. We're only focused on what's 10 more, so the tens place. Next, it says, what number is 10 less than this number? So again, I'm going to go look at my tens place, and I have the number 5. 1 less than 5 is 4. So that will leave me with 342. Good job. I left my ones place alone and my hundreds place alone, only focusing on the tens place. Next, it says, what number is 100 more than this number? So think to yourself, what place value, if it's asking for 100 more, what place value are we going to focus on? The hundreds, the tens, or the ones? Think to yourself. Good, you should have thought that we're going to focus on the hundreds place because it's asking for 100 more. So 100 more, I know 1 more than 3 is 4. So that would add on 452, leaving the tens place alone, leaving the ones place alone. Next, it says, what number is 100 less than this number? Going back to my number, I know 3, 1 less than 3 is 2. So that will leave me with the number 252. And then that's the end of my document. So I hope that was very helpful for you all, and you now have a better understanding of number patterns and identifying those number patterns. Remember, if you have any questions, let me know, and I will be so happy to help you. Continue to be amazing and do an amazing job. I'm already so proud of you all.